But this is a big game for both Venezuela and Uruguay. The winner would advance automatically. We'll go over the scenarios in just a bit.
Teams on the pitch and already have discussed with the officials which side they will be on. Julio Bascuñan will be the head official today. Carlos Cardenas and Wilmer Novarro will be the sideline officials. Jose Buitrago will be the fourth official. Let's go ahead and get to the starting lineups for Uruguay. As you mentioned, in first place in Group B, 5 points through 3 matches. They need a win or a draw today to advance.
Yep, even a loss could be seeing them through with the right combination of results. And for Juan Verzeri in his second South American Youth Championship with Uruguay, he's got De Amores in goal. We'll talk about that a bit. Varela, Velázquez, Rodriguez, and Silva in the back line. The other Varela, Jim Varela, in midfield with Roland, Cristofalo, and Lachaut. And up top, it's Nico Lopez, the Roma man, alongside Rodrigo Aguirre. 3 goals in the tournament for Nico Lopez. He is the danger man for the Uruguayans. Meanwhile, for Venezuela, coach Marco Matias lining up in a very similar formation. Not a lot of changes. Jose Contreras between the sticks. Leo Terán, Wilker Angel, Edwin Peraza, and Victor Sifontes on the back line. Robert Garces and Gilbert Guerra in the center of the midfield. Renzo Sombrano and Juan Pablo Añor. Añor getting the start after coming off the bench. And up top, it's Joseph Martinez, the star of this Vinotinto side, who will play alongside number 11, Darwin Machis.
And no fooling around, we are right into the action here. Julio Bascuñan blowing for the start of the match. Uruguay, Venezuela, conclusion of group play. Once again, I am Gino Fuentes alongside Andres Cordero. BN Sports coverage of the 2013 South American Under-20 Youth Championships. It is the 7-time champion today, Uruguay, trying to secure passage to the next round, coming off their bye round. Unbeaten in the tournament thus far. This one sent in. Vinotinto trying to get on the scoreboard early. That one is handled, though, by the Uruguayan keeper, De Amores, and he gets it right back into the field of play.
Yeah, it's Guillermo De Amores getting his second start in the competition as he replaces the previous starter. It was Matias Cuero, a man who played in the first 2 matches, but he was benched after some lackluster performances. Gave up 5 goals in the first 2 games. This has been a recurring theme for Uruguay, changing goalkeepers. Back in the 2009 South American Youth Championship in Venezuela, Nicola Perez was the starter at the start of the tournament. He was benched in favor of Martin Rodriguez despite Uruguay winning their first 3 matches. Perez then returned for the hexagonal, but he was injured, ended up being replaced by Rodriguez again. In the 2011 competition under Versetti, the same manager Uruguay have today, Johnny Da Silva was the designated starter for the opening match. Made a big mistake, coincidentally, against Venezuela. The match they drew 1-1. He was replaced by Salvador Hichazo, who played for Uruguay between the sticks the rest of the way, Gino.
Like there might have been a foul there, but the referee allows play to continue. Interesting fact about this match, although Uruguay has a far superior record to Venezuela in the history of this competition, Venezuela has not lost to Uruguay at this level in their last 3 matches. This one sent into the box and out of play. Looking for Lopez that time. Lopez, as you mentioned, Andres, with 3 goals coming into this match in a 4-way tie for the tournament lead.
And the man who sent the service in also has a goal in the competition. Diego Lachaut, some good wing play on the left. Tries to pick out Nico Lopez, but it's cut out well by the Venezuelan defense. A lot of experience on the Venezuelan backline, starting with Wilker Angel, the number 2. He is the leader of that final line for the Vinotinto. It's the first corner kick of the match.
You see the captain Velázquez in defense. This one is going to be sent in from the far post. The first corner of the match right into the hands of the keeper, though, Jose Contreras. Nothing to worry about that time. Gets it right back into the field of play. Vinotinto spreading the ball out to the left. And the ball now is Añor. Out to the right side, Venezuela trying to get an early goal here. Looking for room again, Añor. Gets it back out to the wing. Venezuela with only 1 goal thus far in this tournament. A shot here, trying to open their account. Joseph Martinez with the lone score coming against Ecuador. That in Venezuela's very first match of the tournament. And
Uruguay knows very well where the danger lies. There were 2 men marking Joseph Martinez, who was alone inside the area, had both center backs, Velázquez and Silva, flanking him. Ball goes over the top to Victor Sifontes, who takes a crack at it.
back into the midfield. Uruguay trying to keep it out of their side of the pitch.
And you know, it's important to notice this, the final round of group play in Group B. Don't really have to win this competition, though bragging rights, of course, come into play, but you just have to finish in the top 4 in the hexagonal to try and qualify for the 2013 World Cup at this under-20 level, which will be played in Turkey this summer, kicks off in June. So far from Group A, the group's already done and dusted. Chile, Colombia, and Paraguay are through. The host nation, Argentina, eliminated. A shock for the Argentine people. So they felt they had a strong team coming in. They joined Bolivia as the 2 teams already ousted. And you mentioned in Group B, everyone has a chance, including these 2 teams. A winner. We'll see whoever wins advance to that final hexagonal. And you have to finish in the top 4 out of 6 in order to qualify for the World Cup.
And you have to imagine that Argentina going forward will be looking for another head coach. Troviani obviously did not get the job done. Typically, it's not acceptable at any level for Argentina not to advance to the finals. And this is no different, especially because it's a hosting. And usually the hosts are heavily favored in most of these competitions.
Especially when it's Argentina or Brazil or even Uruguay hosting.
The fact that Brazil is in as much danger as they are is also a shock. Well, they still have a chance to correct that today if the results go their way, if they can get a win.
Yeah, Brazil face Peru in this final match, and the win would also see the Brazilians advancing. They are currently on the wrong side of that line. The top 3 going in are Uruguay, Ecuador, and Peru, with Brazil and Venezuela the odd teams out at the moment. But these 90 minutes and the 90 minutes between Brazil and Peru will decide it all.
Got to look at the head coach for Uruguay on the bench there, former coach of Racing in Argentina, Juan Verzeri. Nicknamed the Engineer. This one is sent back into the field of play by Jose Contreras. Venezuela's main problem in this tournament thus far is getting their offense going, and we've seen that become an issue as they've moved Josef Martinez forward since that first match, but have had trouble getting him involved in the match.
Yeah, the first game against Ecuador, so far Venezuela's only goal was a cracking goal by Josef Martinez, who looks up from midfield, finds himself with just a little bit of space and hits from about 28 yards out. One of the goals of the tournament, but since then the Vino Tinto have been unable to get on the scoreboard, and even moving Josef Martinez up to the forward spot, he hasn't really seen the service that he would need. Hasn't had a lot of chances on goal, and so that's why you will see him several times throughout this match drop very deep into midfield to try and recover a ball and see if he can create, not only score.
That one sent into the box, but handled by Angel. Gets it up the pitch. Brought down by Silva. Gets it into the midfield for Uruguay. Cristoforo, one of 5 players in yellow card danger coming into this match. Emiliano Velasquez, I mentioned Cristoforo, Nicolas Lopez, Rodrigo Aguirre, and Betancourt, who's not getting the start today for Uruguay. All those players already have 1 yellow. One more card would see them miss their next match. Schalt gets out to the corner. Sends in a cross, does Gianni Rodriguez, but is deflected out of play. That'll set up a corner kick for Uruguay.
And Uruguay very dangerous down that left flank with Schalt combining with Aguirre and Gianni Rodriguez. Be interesting to see if they test Leo Teran, the fullback, out on that side.
Diego Roland, 2 goals in the competition thus far. He'll take the corner for Uruguay. Seen him be a difference maker coming onto the pitch. In the first match of the tournament, he came on in the second half against Peru and really got the offense going for Uruguay. Send this one in. So swing back in toward the net. Headed away by the defender, Edwin Peraza. South, sending it back forward. Edwin Peraza, one of 3 players of Venezuela in yellow card danger. This one sent into the box again, headed away, but falls to Diego Roland. Roland sends one toward the net, and a great stop by Contreras.
That's a great diving save by Jose Contreras on a shot that didn't have a lot of power in it. It's a good setup play. It falls nicely for him. He tries to bend it around. And Contreras very aware. Maybe needed a bit more pace and power on that ball. Uruguay could be yelling their first goal of the contest.
There you get a look at Diego Roland.
Uruguay already have 6 goals on the pitch today. They have Nico Lopez with 3 in the competition, Diego Roland with 2, and Diego Lachault with 1. They've spread out the scoring, of course, led by Nico Lopez.
Zambrano getting off a shot there. Zambrano in the spot where Joseph Martinez started the competition. Just a bit high. At the first shot of the match for Venezuela. De Amores sends this one up the pitch. Going to be headed out of play. It will stay with Uruguay. It will inbound. So look at Aguirre there. By the way, Uruguay, maybe without Gonzalo Bueno, he's not expected to play today. Suffered a knee injury earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, Bueno has not been able to practice at all. And so, very unlikely that we'll see him here today. He's practically discarded. Bit of a knee complaint, but he hasn't been ruled out for the competition, so if he can recover in practice and Uruguay manage to advance, he would be available. The Uruguayans hope.
First offside of the match there. As Lopez trying to get into the attack. The team leader in goals scored. He had the game-winning goal against Brazil. That coming in the 90th minute of play to give the Chiruas the win. Fed out to the flank. Machis has it taken away though. Good job in defense by Emiliano Velasquez. Player down as Rodrigo Aguirre goes to the turf, holding his face. Not sure exactly what happened to him.
Looks like he took a knock to the nose. Let's see here.
He took an elbow from Cifuentes.
Cifuentes has to be very careful. He's got a yellow card already in the competition. He's one of the players that could be one yellow card away from being suspended for the first match of the hexagonal.
Been a very important piece to this Venezuelan side. We've seen both fullbacks, Teran and Cifuentes, joining the attack throughout the tournament.
His first yellow card, by the way, a very costly one for the Venezuelans. It was in the match against Brazil, and that yellow card right at the death of the first half led to the penalty. That was Brazil's only goal of the match. Venezuela ended up losing that 1-0 on the penalty. The yellow card picked up by Cifuentes.
Some will argue that's the only reason Brazil's still in the competition at this point.
It's incredible to think of a South American championship potentially without Argentina or Brazil in the final stages.
Definitely be something new, although it's already been a shock with Argentina already out, joining Bolivia as the only 2 teams to be eliminated thus far. This one sent forward, Uruguay, and a foul is called in the center circle. Unless they will restart. No, yes it will.
Venezuela, Gino, this is their 4th match in 7 days, so it'll be interesting to see as the game wears on whether tired legs start to become a factor. Don't see it right out of the gate. They look fresh, and it's a good, talented squad that Coach Marcos Matias has put out there today.
Now, you may be asking yourself, what is, a few games in a row on every other day going to do to 18 and 19-year-olds? Well, if anyone saw Bolivia yesterday, who played 4 matches in a row, just ran out of gas in the second half of that match yesterday and gave up 4 goals. Rather, 3 goals. 5 goals throughout the entire match.
That's why it'll be very important today for the Vino Tinto to try and maintain possession, make Uruguay chase the ball rather than chasing it yourself. It's a good ball in.
This one sent toward the goal. It's deflected.
High boot. That's a penalty. He's given it.
And so the first chance of the match will come for Venezuela from the penalty spot. This coming in the 14th minute. And I believe it was the captain, Emiliano Velasquez. See if we can get another look at it here.
It's absolutely a high boot by Emi Velasquez. Very careless, trying to clear that ball away. I'm not sure if he sees Juan Pablo Añor coming onto the ball, but it's the correct decision by the Chilean referee Julio Buscañan. A high boot, dangerous play, and a scoring chance for the Vino Tinto. There's very little doubt about who's going to take this. Josef Martinez right over the ball, as Guillermo de Amores will have to deal with this in goal.
Juan Pablo Añor should consider himself very lucky not to be seriously hurt by a play like that. That was a hard swing taken by Velasquez. So Josef Martinez now with a chance to give Venezuela the early lead. Again, Venezuela needs a win to have any chance of advancing to the next phase. Here we go. Josef Martinez versus Guillermo de Amores. The shot, and it's stopped. Great play by de Amores.
Excellent goalkeeping by the young man who's not even supposed to be in the starting lineup. If things had gone the way that Juan Verzetti had drawn them up, Matias Cuero would be the man in goal. What a great reaction by Guillermo de Amores, who doesn't guess. He reacts, waits for Josef Martinez to make his move. An incredible stop. Not the best taken penalty by Josef Martinez, who is Venezuela's only goal scorer in this tournament. He hit it hard, but a bit too central. And what an incredible development here, 15 minutes into the game. Venezuela with a spoiled opportunity. What a golden chance that would be to be up 1-0 against one of the better teams in this competition.
So the goal-scoring woes continue for the Vino Tinto. Still just that one goal from the first match. Diego Roland surveying the pitch, looking at his options. He's got a man to the right, a man to the left. The crowd just outside the box. He's going to send this one goalwards. Into the box, falls for Lexalt, and another save by Contreras.
Well, it's an excellent touch by Lexalt to bring it down, but he can't get a comfortable shot off. He's off balance, can't settle himself and get over the ball to shoot, so it's a weak effort at Contreras that he very easily deals with. Venezuela playing it short out of the back.
You see the high pressure from Uruguay trying to force some turnovers here. They finally do. Sent forward again for Lopez, looking for a shot. A swing and a miss by Lopez.
And even Diego Lexalt hit the deck when he saw Nico Lopez miss. That's uncharacteristic of arguably the best young striker on this team.
York has a shot toward goal. That one is never going to trouble the keeper. About 7-8 feet too high.
You like the aggression by this Venezuelan team. Already 3 shots. One of them on target. It was that one by Josef Martinez.
They do not want to get caught sleeping here. That happened to Bolivia in yesterday's match, and they were down 2-0 before they knew it.
What a great stop by Contreras. He gets his arm over it. He's strong enough to keep the ball out.
That's going to be another foul as Vino Tinto called for their third of the match. He's going to set up Uruguay with a free kick from about 30 yards out.
You know, Uruguay have already had 2 shots in the match. Both of those were on target. One of them a great stop by Jose Contreras, and a shot by Gaston Silva. The other, that weak effort by Lexalt, that was easily picked up by Contreras.
Cristoforo looks like he'll be the one to take the free kick here. Nicolas Lopez gets into his attacking position. Lopez available on the right side. And he finds Lopez. Lopez is going to send one in toward the box. Doesn't look up, though. Almost gives it away, but it's held on to. Lopez back on the ball. Roland has a shot, and that one is going to be high and into the cage behind the goal. Tied 3-3 on shots already, though. These two teams not shy about taking their chances in the early going here.
That was a poorly executed free kick by the Uruguayans. A poor touch by Nico Lopez, but very casual defending from Venezuela, who don't manage to clear the danger. And they give the Uruguayans another chance.
Diego Roland brings it under his control. Tries to get it out to the wing for Varela, but they can't keep possession. Looks like the Vino Tinto will inbound. Cifontes, the left back, going to put it back into play. Thrown in, Joseph Martinez with a nice touch for his teammate, then sends it forward but gives it away. Out of bounds on the near side again. Cifuentes again to inbound. Añor trying to put some moves on. He's been heavily involved here in the early going. Tries to get around the outside, but Cristoforo takes him down, and then Añor returns the favor.
Yeah, Añor lucky not to be booked after this one. First with a simulation, trying to draw that foul, and second for the retaliation as he commits the foul. See, they're a bit of a dive, some play acting, and then, well, he's just a bit late. Nothing cynical about the challenge. It is the first start of the competition for Juan Pablo Añor. Had only played about 17 minutes. Came on in the 77th minute against Brazil in the 1-0 loss, replacing Guerra. And that was his debut in this competition.
Roland bodied off the ball that time. Stays with Uruguay. Out to the left now for Lopez. Lopez may have caught the defender in the face with a boot that time. Looks like Terán is the one who is on the floor.
Yeah, it's another high boot.
You can see the official telling Lopez to be careful. Lopez should consider himself lucky not to have gone in the book there. So these first 20 minutes have flown by, Andres. Lots of action in the early going here. Neither of these sides wants to sit back and just let things develop.
Yeah, chances for either side, and already the best scoring chance of the match, the penalty taken by Joseph Martinez, denied by Guillermo de Amores, who you have to think if he keeps this up and Uruguay advance, he will be the goalkeeper the rest of the way. No reason to go back to Matias Cuero.
Another foul. This one goes against the Chiruas. It's the second of the match for Uruguay. This, by the way, the last day that the Bicentenario Stadium in San Juan will be used. The rest of the tournament will be played at the Malvinas Argentina Stadium in Mendoza. Sent into the mix, headed on, and we have our first goal of the contest. Venezuela are on the board.
And look who it is, Joseph Martinez, El Capitan, showing you the captain's armband. Again, the only goal scorer for Venezuela, scored a sensational goal in the opener to beat Ecuador. And could this beat the goal that beats Ecuador? It's a difficult header. He just has to redirect it. And take a look at this. Excellent composure by the young boy striker. Plays his club ball in Switzerland as he nods this one past Guillermo de Amores. Beautiful service into the area. He's not offside. He's being kept in by Emi Velasquez. He's right in line. Showing you the Vino Tinto mark.
Now, Andres, I know that goal, that first goal that he scored in this tournament was spectacular. A shot from about 28 yards out, but the body control that you saw on that header just now.
This is a great header. He adjusts himself in the air. He's not perfectly positioned for it. He beats his marker, stayed onside, and just has to get a touch on it in order to redirect the ball into the net past the Amores. Well, Venezuela arguably deserved to be in front. They could not capitalize from the penalty chance. They do from the set piece on their fourth shot of the match. Their second on target.
Uruguay will look to get this one back as quickly as possible. There is, however, a scenario that Uruguay could advance despite losing. But they can't give up. They can't lose by more than one goal.
Well, if Uruguay lose, then they'll be keeping a close eye on that Peru-Brazil match because they would need a draw in that match as well in order to advance. However, they can't afford to lose by more than 2 goals in this contest, or a goal difference would come into play, and the Celeste could be on their way out.
Juan Verzeri doesn't want to take those kind of chances, though. He was interviewed before this match on his strategy. And his strategy, he said, basically was to come out and win. He doesn't want to worry about the other stipulations on whether or not his team could advance with a draw or a loss. So Uruguay are coming out to win today. They're going to need to turn things around. They want that to happen. This one headed back toward Añor. Good job by the Uruguayan defense. Roland trying to body the defender off the ball. Gets it away. Gets it out to his wingers.
And it's one of the things that makes this such an exciting match is it is practically an elimination match. Neither side can really afford to play for the draw, but especially Venezuela mathematically cannot afford a draw. They need all 3 points in order to advance, so it's win or go home for the Vino Tinto. An excellent start from Marco Matias's men.
Lopez gets around the outside, trying to make something happen, sends it across, looking for Aguirre. Bit too high, Exalt brings it back. Varela has his deflected out of play.
A good defense from Edwin Pereza. And from Guerra, the midfielder, who comes back to cut off the cross. We also saw Victor Cifontes adjust.
That's going to be a foul. That's going to set up the Chirolas with another free kick opportunity. Venezuela continue to be the aggressor. At their 5th foul of the contest already. And Nicolas Lopez will go to take the free kick. One of 2 players on the squad that play their ball in Europe. Of course, Ruben Betancourt, the other one playing at PSV Eindhoven. Nicolas Lopez plays for AS Roma in the Serie A. This one's sent to the near post, headed away though.
Yeah, that ball's too short by Nicolas Lopez, but again, Venezuela are failing to clear.
Chance, and that was cleared off the line. I think the ref is giving it as a goal.
Well, it might have been a foul inside the area. As we see Sebastian Cristoforo down inside the 18-yard box. Let's take another look at this. A poor clearance and a sliding challenge by Jose Contreras. I think he's given the penalty. The ball doesn't get past the line. It's cleared out well by Wilker Angel, who chases it down.
We'll see what happens here. And you're right, he's given the penalty. So Diego Roland will step to the spot. Uruguay with the same chance Venezuela had earlier in the match. Let's see if they can get on the scoreboard in the first try. Roland already 2 goals coming into this match. Diego Roland plays for Defensor Sporting in the Uruguayan League. Jose Contreras in net. And so a chance for the Celeste to tie this one up.
Roland's already scored from the penalty spot in this competition.
Ref blows his whistle. Roland, goal! We are all tied at 1.
3rd goal of the match for Roland, who does expertly well on this penalty chance opportunity. Lots of power. The shot right near the post. No chance for Jose Contreras to keep it out. He dives to the right side, but it's well beyond his reach. And for the 2nd time in as many games, or in 3 games, Roland hits from the penalty spot for Uruguay. His 3rd goal of the contest, his 2nd from 12 paces out. Scored in the 48th minute in Uruguay's win over Brazil. And he does so again here in the first half, 25 minutes in against Venezuela.
You get the impression here, Andres, that we're not going to be lacking for goals. These teams going back and forth, up and down the pitch. That one gets away, well defended by Uruguay and sent forward looking for Lopez. Lopez is going to have to wait for the rest of his team to come help him out. Into the middle for Cristoforo, shot on goal! Contreras makes the save again, goes to cover it up.
That's good goalkeeping from Jose Contreras, who's done very well so far in the match. It's the 2nd long-distance shot that he has to deal with. Neither one has been an easy save. He's answered the call both times for the Vino Tinto. There wasn't much you could ask of him on the penalty shot. It was very well taken by Diego Roland. Although he did give up the penalty with his legs.
Ide giving chase that time, heads it out of play, though this will be a goal kick for Contreras.
Yeah, Aguirre trying to sell the foul for another dangerous set piece. Referee Julio Vascuñan not buying.
So a goal kick here for Venezuela. Marcos Matias' men trying to make it through to the next phase of the tournament. The manager expressed his confidence that his side can not only qualify to the next phase of the tournament, but qualify for Turkey. And it will all come down to this match. Roland on the outside, sending a ball forward for Lopez, but that one ends up in the arms of the keeper.
Yeah, Uruguay should not result to these kinds of attacks. Long balls to no one in particular. That one well off target, easily for Contreras to pick out of the air. It's interesting to see Venezuela scoring from that header off the free kick. Actually, Guillermo de Amores' strength is airplay. He's very good in that capacity, but it was an expert header from Josef Martinez to make it 1-0. And then Diego Roland from the spot ties things up. It's been a very exciting first 30 minutes at the Bicentenario.
Not exactly sure what Nicolas Lopez was trying to accomplish that time. Looked like if he brought that ball down, he would have a decent chance to put a couple moves and get toward the net, but tried to flip one over the keeper's head from about 25 yards out. Being headed around back and forth. Referee calls a foul. This one looks as if it will go back over to Uruguay. And it's important for these players not to get impatient on the ball out here on the pitch, especially in a match like this where it's been end-to-end. Sometimes you get caught trying to make things happen too quickly instead of taking your time. Back out to the wing, Gianni Rodriguez. Back on the ball. And another foul is called against Venezuela. That's the 7 of the match called against them, just 2 called against Uruguay. First 30 minutes are in the books here. We have 2 good goals. We could have a few more. Back out to the wing for Venezuela. Josef Martinez, the goal scorer on the ball. Assault. Good dispossession there by the winger.
It's a bit too slow from Josef Martinez, who was trying to free himself up. But whoa, what a gamble by Guillermo de Amores. It works out for him. Ole.
Foul there. And Aguirre just got stepped on right in the chest. That's going to draw the first yellow card of the match.
Take a look at this. That was gutsy by De Amores.
That's the kind of play that will get Juan Verzetti some gray hairs. And then a step on the chest there. Edwin Peraza gets carded, and he's going to miss the next match should Venezuela advance. Or Wicker Angel, excuse me.
Yeah, he's not in any suspension danger. It is Pereza, Manuel Arteaga, and Victor Sifontes, the men carrying yellow cards for the Vino Tinto. It's a good decision by Jose Contreras. They're not sure whether to come out and meet it. Thankfully, for the Venezuelan side, the ball a bit out of reach for Gaston Silva. Take a look here at the hesitation by Contreras in goal. Not sure whether to come out and meet it or not. Perfectly onside.
Just missed. Good idea. The accuracy was a little bit lacking. We invite you to check out our website, www.beinsport.tv, as well as on Twitter. English and Spanish Twitter handles are at the bottom of your screen. Once again, you are watching Be In Sports, coverage of the 2013 South American Under-20 Youth Championship from Argentina. 1-1 through 32 minutes here at the Bicentenario.
And by the way, send your tweets. We read them all.
Josef Martinez gets this one from the left side of the pitch to the right, kept inbounds. Machis sending that one into the box. Venezuela back in control. Offside.
Yeah, he doesn't get back in time. Renzo Zambrano caught in an offside position, trying to make up for it, but the linesman's right there to see it. And Venezuela having a little bit of trouble linking up their passes in Uruguay's half of the field over the last 10 minutes or so. And part of that could be the ball's not going through Juan Pablo Añor, who was causing a lot of danger against that Uruguayan backline.
Nicolas Lopez gets it back into the midfield. This one swung out to the wing for Varela. Sent forward. Roland can't get control of it. Añor taps it to his teammate, gets the ball back. Deflected.
It's good triangulation by Venezuela. Nice quick touch by Añor.
Venezuela trying to get into the attack quickly here.
Great ball.
Añor sent forward, looking for Martinez, and he's taken out on the pass. That's going to be another yellow card. That's going to put Guillermo Varela into the book. First card against the Charuas.
It's Guillermo Varela's first yellow card of the tournament. You're going right back. Añor, the man drawing the foul in the middle. You see when they play through Añor, he's very quick. He's very good at dribbling. He can cause a lot of problems for the Uruguayan defense. He can be that link man between the Uruguayan defense and Jose Martinez.
This one sent toward the goal. A good job heading it away by the captain, Velasquez. And offside the call from the far sideline.
Venezuela proving to be very dangerous on these set pieces. This time, yep, just offside. Doesn't hold his run well enough, and the captain, Velasquez, manages to nod this one away. But you see where Venezuela very good in the air. They've already caused a bit of damage to goal coming from a set piece.
This one put out of play on the turnaround shot from Aguirre. Veras will take his time here. Perhaps trying to slow things down a bit. Been a frantic pace for the first 35 minutes.
But you know, with the microphones so close to both managers and the stadium so empty, it's almost like you're getting the director's cut of the match.
I've been talking with some of our colleagues over the past few days. You're hearing everything that's going on the sideline. In some cases, you're even hearing what the players say to each other. And every once in a while, you get a crazy fan thrown in. Jose Contreras. Waiting for the team to get up the pitch. Uruguay put it out of bounds on the far side. Leonardo Terán will inbound for the Vino Tinto.
Over the last 15 minutes, we've seen Jose Martinez drop further back into midfield. Not seeing the service that he would like as a striker. So he drops back. Try and see if he can create something himself. The problem is that he hasn't been very determined to go forward when he does get the ball. A bit static. Whereas Juan Pablo Añor has been very single-minded, going straight forward to try and create something.
This is going to be a foul called on Venezuela once again. It's been the theme of the first half. That's their 8th foul, Venezuela. Out of play along the far side. Assault making the run down the wing. Gets it over the defender's head. Possible shot for Lopez, but out of play by Contreras. But Lopez really making his presence felt here for Uruguay. Constant threat toward the Vino Tinto net.
Here, Marco Matias trying to spark his men to life. And they are really just absorbing the attack from the Uruguayans over these last 5 to 7 minutes.
So Roland will take this corner from the far side of the pitch. This is going to be an in-swinger. Right into the air, right into the arms of Contreras. Has to elevate to get to it. Does a fine job.
Very sure-handed by Contreras, but a bit lackadaisical for Venezuela coming out of that. He's looking for an option. No one is giving, got players just trotting back into midfield rather than opening themselves up and try and receive a pass and spark a quick counterattack. a certain sense of urgency needed from the Venezuelan side, which they reiterate, at 1-1, they would currently be eliminated from the competition. The Vinotinto side looking for their second ever trip to the Under-20 World Championship. They finished last in their group in two of the last 3 editions of this competition, but in 2009, they actually won their group, ended up finishing 4th in the hexagonal. It was the first time that Venezuela had been to a Soccer World Cup at any level. Became a source of pride and joy for the nation of Venezuela. They're trying to bring the good times back.
You mentioned 4 of the teams playing
dangerous
in this group today, but perhaps the most nerve-wracking experience for any of the teams in the group is Ecuador, who's sitting at home pretty much watching their fate unfold in front of them, not being able to do anything at this point.
Ecuador have to feel good about their 5 points, but if there is a cause for concern, it's the goal difference. They finished with a goal difference of 0 after 4 matches, and that leaves them exposed to potentially being passed by any of the teams below them, currently sitting in 2nd place, the Ecuadorians. But you're right, Gino, it has to be absolutely nerve-wracking to just sit back and watch and find out whether you've got another match or whether you're home after the opening round. Traditionally, 5 points has been close to good enough to get you past. The average magic number has been 5.75. Of course, a few teams have advanced with 4 points in the past. Then again, last season, 7 points wasn't enough for one. So those 5 points, reason to be a little bit nervous for the Ecuadorians. Right now, reason to be very nervous for the Venezuelans. They need a win here in order to advance to the hexagonal.
Looks like Cristoforo will come off for just a moment. Took a nasty hit to the shin there. Looks like he'll be all right. He's going to have to come off for just a moment.
The luxury of the South American Under-20 Championships. No stretcher, full-on golf cart.
He may not be able to come on. He looks like he's still in pain.
Seems to be favoring his left ankle.
See if some magic spray can help.
One day I'm going to find out what's in that magic spray.
I call it magic spray because it's amazing. Players will go off looking like they broke their leg. A couple puffs of that spray and they're ready to go. Salt down the left-hand side. Terán doing a good job keeping him away. It's out of play. Will stay with the Celestes.
It's really just used to cool down the area.
Gianni Rodriguez, and that one is headed out of play. Looks as if it will be the 4th corner of the match for Uruguay.
The tempo of the match has slowed down significantly going into the halftime break. You start to wonder at what point, if any, do the 4 matches in 7 days play a part for this Venezuelan side.
Conversely, on the other side, you have Uruguay, who just had their bye and are as fresh as you can be in this tournament. So Diego Roland really taking his time.
Nico Lopez at the near post.
In, fisted down by Contreras. Venezuela try and get it up the pitch as fast as they can. Zambrano has it taken away. It's put out of play. Inside the last 3 minutes of regulation time here in the first half, and a player down now for Uruguay.
That was good work by Renzo Zambrano down the flank to shake off 2 Uruguayan defenders.
See if we can get another look at what happened here.
The Venezuelan players accusing Seba Cristoforo of time wasting.
The official Julio Bascuñan going over to have a look. 2 Chileans, 2 Colombian officials today.
Bascuñan and Astroza, the Chileans, Wilmer Navarro, and the 4th official, Jose Buitrago, the Colombians. Venezuela doesn't like this time wasting at all. Marco Matias unhappy with the referee. Takes a quick glance at the Uruguayan sideline. Look of disgust.
See the officials keeping time here. All this is going to be added on at the end of the first half. Still down on the ground. Once again, the golf cart has been brought onto the pitch. It's been a hot couple of days here since the start of the tournament down in Argentina. Remember, it is summer in South America. Today is no exception. Over 90 degrees. There is a bit of a breeze out on the field, but the high today is as high as 100. It'll be interesting to see how these players react, if they can handle a whole 90 minutes, especially, as we mentioned a couple of times, Venezuela.
It's been hot and pretty dry for most of the competition. This 91-degree weather on the upper end of what we've seen in terms of temperatures throughout the group stage. This is a lot of time taken off the clock, and Julio Buscañan probably should have called for the stretcher a whole lot earlier, so you understand why Marco Matias might be upset, because the draw does absolutely nothing for him. Uruguay, they would be through with the draw. Now we're very close to the 45 minutes of regulation in the first half.
Referee telling him to get the cart off the field.
Hey, you forgot something.
Okay, so we're finally ready to get back underway here, just as regulation time comes to an end. Be interesting to see how much time they add on here. Edwin Peraza sends it forward for Venezuela. Bringing it down is Aguirre looking for Lopez. Lopez has it taken away.
Yeah, it's not a good ball by Aguirre, who puts Lopez in a compromising position in between two defenders.
Fontes gets it forward for Zambrano.
A bit more patience needed.
Zambrano gets it forward for Martinez. Laxalt clears it out of play. Gives Uruguay a chance to get into their defensive positions.
Yeah, Venezuela trying to take advantage of their man advantage. Uruguay currently with 10 men on the pitch as one is receiving treatment.
Back in defense is Guillermo Varela. It's been thrown in. Fontes flicks it forward. And I think offside is going to be the call here. That would be the second offside of the match, and they're going to have to make a change. Uruguay coming onto the pitch is Fabricio Formiliano. Plays for Danubio, 19 years of age. Gaston Silva coming off. So we got to play on the near side. Well into stoppage time now, coming up on 2 minutes completed. Still no signal as to how much we'll play here at the end of the first half. That last injury timeout took a while, about 2 or 3 minutes.
And Formiliano seeing his very first action at the South American Under-20 Championships. Has not started any match, has not come off the bench in any of the first 3 games. So due to injury, he gets his chance to shine for Coach Juan Verzetti.
Venezuela trying to get it up the field. Joseph Martinez trying to have a quick throw in over the top, looking for Zambrano. Can't get it there. Emiliano puts it out of play. Back into the swing of things are Venezuela. This one played back by Garces. Garces gets it to Edwin Peraza. 48th minute of play here in the first half. Up the sideline looking for Lopez. Lopez one-on-one with the defender. Wilker Angel gets around him. That may have gone out, and it does. The referee blows it to a halt. But again, Nicolas Lopez continuing to apply the pressure, and the ref has seen enough for the first half. 3 minutes of stoppage time added on. And we go to the break, tied 1-1. It was a goal from Joseph Martinez on a header from a set piece. On the other side, Diego Roland getting the goal in the 27th minute from the penalty spot. We're all even going to the halftime break.
It was an excellent start for the Venezuelans, but this result 1-1 does them no favors. They need a victory in order to advance. The Uruguayans would be very happy with a draw. They might not win the group. They would leave themselves exposed, but a draw could see them through to the next round.
Take a quick break here on beIN Sport. Coverage of the 2013 South American Youth Championships continues after this.
"2013 dawns with big expectations. In the year before the World Cup, our continent will tremble with the qualifiers. 8 teams, 8 illusions towards the list of 32. In February, USA and the other 4 most powerful teams of the CONCACAF will fight for one objective. In March, the action returns to South America, where the strong sides of the CONMEBOL continues in the battle to reach the most valuable tournament on the planet. Passion, enthusiasm, emotion at the highest level. Happiness and sadness in the same proportion. The CONCACAF and CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers are on beIN Sport, where dreams become reality.
beIN Sport brings you the game like you have never seen. Exclusive content. Total access to the best clubs in the world.
A perfect 10 of the Olympic Games. Wow.
The best documentaries. Go back in time and relive the best moments in sports history.
I'm still the greatest of all times. Never again defeat me.
All that and more on beIN Sport.
Who's the champ of the world?
People want to know who is the fastest man.
The great ones thrive on that moment.
You always wanted to be the fastest on the block.
When the gun goes off, you forgot. Faster than any other human being before him.
The Spanish League is on beIN Sport. Atletico Madrid is showing one of the best forms in recent years. However, they are 11 points behind the leader, Barcelona. True in its convictions, they will host Levante, who needs to return to the path of victory. Atletico Madrid, Levante, Sunday, only on beIN Sport.